Hi everyone, welcome to today's rapid business training on the 5 Surefire Ways for turning prospects into fans. My name is Charles Gaudet with Predictable Profits. Now, I cannot begin to emphasize how important today's conversation is for every business owner, B2B or B2C. It really doesn't matter. This is for all the entrepreneurs and business owners who feel like they're stuck and not converting enough leads. This presentation will undoubtedly open your eyes to a whole new way of doing business. So first, I'd like to illustrate with an example. Apple versus Samsung. One company has a group of raving fans, while another has a bunch of customers. So we're talking about fans versus customers here. What's the difference? Well, for starters, when was the last time you heard of Samsung customers camping outside at night in the frigid cold outside of the store just to get their hands on the newest phone? Chances are not often. Yet this is commonplace for Apple customers. Apple customers have no problem going out of their way to do business with the company. So let me ask you, would your clients get out of bed at, say, 2:30 in the morning just to be the first to do business with you? Could you get your clients to drive 50 miles out of their way to do business with you? I mean, for most people, even the most minor inconvenience is enough to lose a sale. But you see, when you have fans, particularly when you have raving fans, they climb mountains to do business with you. Folks, we live in a different era today. It used to be that you could shortcut the sales process and take people from prospects to leads to customers. That worked well for decades, but then something changed. Competition increased. The amount of advertisements that our prospects see every day has increased. Price competition has increased. And, well, more than anything else, we have savvy clients who, on average, they'll look at between 12 and 13 different sources before making a purchase decision. So that means before they're buying anything from you, they're looking at you and they're comparing you against your competition. So look, just being better isn't good enough. And so that's when business changed from the typical 3 stages of prospects, leads, and customers to now 4 stages. We're looking at prospects to leads, leads to fans, fans to clients, and clients to advocates. And today we're specifically talking about turning leads into eventual fans. Now, there's one thing that you take out of today's presentation. It's this. Your initial goal is not to turn a lead into a customer, but to turn a lead into a fan. You know what I'm saying? So, Kevin Kelly, the founder of Wire, wrote about the impact of this in an essay, 1,000 True Fans, and I just want to read a segment for you. He said, to be a successful creator, you don't need millions, you don't need millions of dollars or millions of customers, millions of clients or millions of fans. To make a living as a craftsperson, photographer, musician, designer, author, animator, app maker, entrepreneur, or inventor, you only need 1,000 true fans. A true fan is defined as a fan that will buy anything you produce. These die-hard fans will drive 200 miles to see you sing. They will buy the hardback and paperback and audible versions of your book. They'll purchase your next figurine, sight unseen. They will buy for the best of DVD version of your free YouTube channel, and they'll come to your chef's table once a month. You see, that's the goal. And what Ramit Sethi, he's a founder of Growth Labs, so he put this to the test and discovered when he looked at the analysis of his own business that his 1,000 customers was enough to bring him over $8.6 million. 1,000 true fans. 1,000 true fans will buy anything that you put in front of them. And they will happily pay premium pricing, and they'll tell your friends about you too. So how do you go about creating these 1,000 true fans? Well, there are 5 primary ways, and the first one, and I'm sure you've heard this before, is you must make people feel special, valued, and appreciated. Now, in other words, anytime you do something that is unexpected or out of the ordinary, to go out of your way and to make them feel good, well, boom, you nailed this. People need to feel heard. They need to know that you understand them and you understand their problems. And they need to know that you've got their back, even if sometimes that means subordinating some of your own profit interests. You know, for example, there's a story at Nordstrom. This actually is a friend of a friend who this happened to. It was around Christmas time. A gentleman walked in to buy perfume for his girlfriend. Went behind the counter, spoke to the clerk, and the clerk said, "I'm sorry, sir, we just don't carry that perfume." And so he said, well, do you know where I can find it? And so the clerk says, well, you have other shopping that you have to do? And he says, yeah, I do. And he says, okay. She says, okay, no problem. I tell you what, I'll go into the mall and I'll buy that perfume for you and I'll meet you back here and then we can settle up. So he said, oh, that'd be great. Thank you. So the clerk went off into the mall, purchased the perfume, came back into the store, met up with the gentleman who was looking to buy the perfume for his girlfriend. And she said, here's a perfume, and then only charged him exactly what she paid for it at the other store, showed him the receipt and everything, which, number one, was unexpected and quite wonderful. And then she said, well, how about I gift wrap this for you as well, doing that at no cost to the gentleman. And so he of course, felt special, valued, and appreciated, and was so enamored by this entire experience, he's told so many people about it. But that's just a great example of how Nordstrom turns people into fans. Look, anytime you go out of your way and you do something that's unexpected, you make people feel special, valued, and appreciated. In the B2B world, one of the major reasons why we offer free strategy sessions to our leads is because it gives us the opportunity to show people where they're leaking profits and inadvertently where they're overlooking different opportunities. It's a free strategy session, but yet I can't tell you how many times we've had people offer to pay us for our time. And that's one of the ways that we create fans. So the second way is to give before getting. There's an old saying that says givers get, and it's true. No matter the industry, if you deliver great, actionable content that helps people overcome their challenges and get to their results faster, people are going to appreciate you for it. Josh Fechter of Banff Media, he's a guy who does a great job with this. He's got a Facebook group, 10,000 plus members, and is constantly delivering great hacks and ideas for free. And his community, they love him for it, and as a result, they eat up anything that he offers them. You see, when you give value in advance and you trust, and you just can trust that by transforming lives, people will either, one, become a client when they're ready, and or two, become some of your best source of referrals. So make them feel special, valued, and appreciated. You give before getting by deliver great value in advance. And then thirdly, be bold. Now look, love it or hate it, Nike was bold with their Kaepernick advertisement. And even though you had a population of people burning their shoes, when you stand for something, you create a raving fan base. Remember, Nike's not trying to appeal to everyone or make everyone happy. If you do it, it's a surefire way of not being remembered. Again, you don't have to like it, but reasons and results. And Nike reported quarterly earnings that beat average analyst estimates. Someone once said, if you don't have people hating you because of the stance that you take, you're not trying hard enough. And I know it's hard to do sometimes. I, for one, enjoy being liked. But if you want to be loved, you got to be willing to polarize your audience. Howard Stern, one of the most hated men on radio, yet he's also the highest paid. Or, when you look at Donald Trump, he's been one of the most hated presidential candidates ever to run. And yet he became president of the United States. Apple, they polarized their audience by comparing the PC user to the Mac user, making the PC user out to be a typical office nerd of sorts, and the Mac user, someone who's kind of hip and cool. Let me see if I can play this video here for you.
Hello, I'm a Mac.
And I'm a PC.
Gesundheit, you okay?
No, I'm not okay. I have that virus that's going around.
Oh, yeah.
In fact, you better stay back. This one's a doozy.
That's okay, I'll be fine.
No, do not be a hero. Last year there were 114,000 known viruses for PCs.
PCs, not Macs. So,
Just grab this. I think I got a crash.
hey, if you feel like that'll help, good.
Gotta love it. And so that brings us to number 4, create an emotional connection. In other words, people don't want to do business with a logo. They want to do business with the person behind the business. They want to know that business is human. I mean, when you think of it, Steve Jobs was the face of Apple. Richard Branson's the face of Virgin Airlines. Elon Musk is the face of Tesla. Jeff Bezos with Amazon. Warren Buffett and Berkshire Hathaway, and so forth. Now, real big companies, they figured this out. And when they didn't want to make the founder or the CEO the face of the company, they used things like Flow for Progressive or the Gecko for Geico. And so what they're doing is they're making the brand human. And you can do the same thing too. Now, part of making that emotional connection is communication. So for most small businesses, it's entirely possible to reach out and respond when somebody reaches out to you on social media. I was told Gary Vaynerchuk still responds to all his tweets, emails, etc. He tries to make himself as approachable as possible. Very important for creating an emotional connection. And then finally, create a scenario so that your brand says something about your clients. When you know what your ideal client wants, their aspirations and dreams, and you strive every day to make those dreams a reality, you create a bond to the brand and a bond to the product. K-Swiss did a really good job here, right? K-Swiss niched down and they're creating sneakers for tomorrow's CEO. Harley Davidson does this. Freedom for all, right? What they're standing for is unleashing the freedom and individuality on the pavement, right? I mean, that's Harley. B2B example would be PwC, the big accounting company. And right on their homepage, they're talking about how PwC is celebrating the he for she movement for gender equality. Working with PwC, it kind of tells you about, the type of client that they're looking for, what the brand stands for. Then we've got another B2B example, Crisp Video, one of the leading video marketing company for attorneys. They sent me this T-shirt, and I wear it with a lot of pride, right? And this T-shirt, he's got Game Changer written across the front. And so obviously you're not going to be the right client for Crisp if you're not willing to represent yourself as a game changer. So if you're willing to be a game changer, you're going to be a great client for this company. And so to recap, the 5 surefire ways for turning prospects into fans. Number 1, make them feel special, valued, and appreciated. Number 2, give before getting. Number 3, be bold. 4, create an emotional connection. And 5, represent your ideal clients. What does your brand or working with your brand say about you? So that wraps up today's actionable video or actionable seminar. For more free trainings and whatnot, feel free to go over to predictableprofits.com and click on the business training, or go over to the link there on the screen, predictableprofits.com/free-business-training. We're going to be offering a bunch of trainings like this and more. So feel free to register for the trainings, and we're going to continue to do what we can to help you scale and grow your business and take it over to that next level. So once again, my name is Charles Gaudet, and we'll see you soon. Thank you.